Hey everyone, Dominic here, bringing you another Ravening Report. So this time, we've actually got the final of our local league's playoff matchup. If you've been following around the last two videos, the first round matchups were myself, Vampire Covenant, versus Dread Elves. There was also Kingdom of Equitane versus the Beast Herds. Beast Herds came out victorious, as did the Vampire Covenant, obviously. Next round matchup was Warriors of the Dark Gods versus Orc and Goblins. Warriors of the Dark Gods came out victorious. And Vampire Covenant versus Beast Herds was the other second round matchup. We managed to come out victorious again. So that puts Vampire Covenant versus Warriors of the Dark Gods for the finals. Another interesting thing, or kind of funny to me anyway, the first and second round matchups I actually played against two brothers. And in the third game, I'm playing against their dad. So, yeah, let's get started here. So the deployment type for this one was straight frontline clash, with breakthrough as the secondary. For my army, just like the last two, we have 35 zombies, banner and a musician. We've got 29 skeleton, sword and board warriors, full command, banner of the Relentless Company. In that unit, I've got the army's general, wizard master of evocation. She has the necromantic staff and the talisman of shielding. I've got 4 great bats. I've got my shrieking horror, 2 bat swarms, 9 wraiths. There's a banshee in the unit as well. Another unit of 35 zombies, banner and musician. Another unit of bat swarms up here. We've got 4 vampire knights, full command, Brotherhood of the Dragon upgrade. We have 2 more bat swarms. We've got a Varkalak back here, and a vampire count. All kinds of stuff. Let's see here. Brotherhood of the Dragon upgrade. Sorry. He's got a lance, halberd, and paired weapons. He's got Crimson Rage. He's got the Eternity Gem, and he's got Death Cheater on a skeletal steed. So, for the Warriors of the Dark Gods, he's got a unit of Marauders. I think these guys got paired weapons, full command, possibly. He's got a Forsaken one, I believe. I think it's called. He's got a unit of Knights up here. I don't remember what kind of mark they have, but they do have lances this game, and I believe full command. He's got a unit of Marauder Horsemen with great weapons. He's got a unit of just warriors. They've got halberds and full command. Actually, no champion. I remember specifically there was no champion. And then he's also got a wizard adept in this unit. Minimal gear. He's got a Portent Lord on a Chimera. He's got a Exalted Herald here. He's got a giant. Forget what he's got. Giant either way. Sorceress one. That's what it is, because he's got spells. And he's got 4 Feldrax over here with great weapons and full command, I believe. That's a quick look at the table. After a few drops, I was just putting out Chap, so he decided to drop and take first turn. If it looks a little weird that I was putting my guys back, I kind of forgot that he's only got an Adept and didn't have the D3 snipe spell. He's only got the single wound snipe spell. So I was deploying things of value away from that just in case. But yeah, we're going to start Warriors of the Dark Gods, turn 1. So over here, he abandons his flank a little bit, moves his 2 flying characters over towards the center. Just as I figured he'd do, he's going to go after the Necromancer General. Moves that Forsaken one off into the flank here as well, blocking his Marauders, unfortunately. And pushes up on this side. He does leave me, I think it's still a 16-inch charge. No, it's even further than that. I think it was 18-inch charge from my general over here. And that's pretty much it for movement. We're going to go to Magic. He tried to do Hellfire over here, which didn't go off. He did Lightning Vambraces from the Adept and knocked off a couple wounds over here. And that's pretty much it. He's got no shooting, so we go into Vampire Covenant turn 1. I thought about this one here. I considered half just moving up in front of these guys because I'm not too worried honestly about this, but I did need to stop this unit from getting into my backfield for secondary. So we declare that charge. Unfortunately, I fail. I move up the Varkalak a little bit just to kind of support, and this side we kind of push. Over here, I had a little bit of a plan. Where he is in range of shooting this thing. So if magic doesn't go the way I wanted it to, that's fine. But either way, we did march and suffered a dangerous terrain from the forest here. I got lucky and got the fortitude save. Over here, we just move up the Vampire Knights here, keeping distance as far as I could. I think it was an 18-inch charge if you wanted to do this one, 18 or 19. I wanted to leave it at pretty far and just kind of move up to set a little bit more of a trap per se here. So we go into Magic. We do a Rise. We get a bunch of zombies over here on the guys behind the building. And we try to touch the Reaper over here. And he stopped it. Yeah, it spelled that one. And then we got Dance Macabre off as well. Gains a Veil token and just moved this guy over. So he moves over like so, getting out of arc of sight of the Portent Lord. So, and getting right up in this guy's grill. We do the shooting attack, and I whiff pretty good actually. I only did 3 wounds, and he saved. I think this guy's got 5 wounds on him to start, so I think he saved 2 of them actually. So, got really lucky there. But that's the table as we're gonna start off turn 2 for Warriors of the Dark Gods. So over here, those Feldrax decide that they're gonna try and to charge in and get rid of this vampire. This guy random moves next, gets into the Shrieking Horror, and that Portent Lord comes along this side here to support just in case things go bad over here. The Feldrax fail their charge, which I think is actually probably a little bit unfortunate for me because I think I probably win that fight. And over here, he just moves up a little bit toward the center of the field and starts to threaten again my backfield where the Necromancer is. So we go into Magic, and he, I believe he did, what did he do over here? I tried to do Hellfire over here, didn't go off again. I believe he tried to knock off 3 individual wounds over here. He failed that spell, and then he tried to do the Rot Within. Actually, I believe he tried to give this guy a breath weapon. That failed. He tried to do 3 wounds. I stopped it, and he tried to do Hellfire, and he failed the casting roll again. So he actually got really unlucky with his magic phases in this game. There's the Hellfire one, and we go into combat. So over here, he actually whiffs the start of a trend. He rolls a 1 for his grinds, and I kind of whiff my screams back a little bit anyway. I managed to put 2 more wounds on it, I think. 2 more wounds on it. Either way, I'm down to just 1 wound after combat res, but I honestly thought I was just gone, so that's looking pretty good on my side. That's how the table looks like really quick as we start turn 2 for Vampire Covenant. So this time, we're going to charge in against those Feldrax, make it in this time. Over here, we declare a charge that he didn't see, I don't think. The flank of his his Marauder Horsemen, which were actually protecting the flank of his Exalted here. So he didn't want this because if I go here, I'm into this flank, and then I'm pushing that side, and now he's just out here facing nobody. So he decides to flee, which means that the zombies, it is a little bit far. I do need, well, not actually over. They only needed a 7 on the dice, but we're going to go into the flank of that Exalted. These guys redirected their charge into the front of these warriors. That one's pretty far, but we're still going to try it. The zombies make it in. The knights fail. Of course, the Vampire Lord makes it in. This is the repositioning on this side that I do. I move up the Wraiths, staying within 12 of my general and getting within scream range. Just keeping this chaff back for now. Just moving it out here didn't really serve me any purpose that I could see. This side, I'm pushing up those zombies to try and get them either to tie down the Portent Lord or to get it in his backfield. So over here, we speed the Varkalak past the giant out of arc, and with this guy being tied down, not really too worried. I'm out of arc of the warriors as well. So since all that's free, we just move the bat swarms down off the hill, hiding away from the giant. We go into magic. We do Hasten the Hour over here on the to cause 3 wounds to these guys who are fleeing. He lets it go, kills 3. We do Danse Macabre, and he tried to stop it, and it still managed to go off. So they're going to walk through those knights and kill them. And still within 8 to do some screams here. I actually think he stopped. Sorry, going back. I think we did 3 wounds here. He stopped this one. Danse Macabre goes off, kills the knights, and now we're facing over here. We do Arise, get wound back on the Screaming Horror. The +1 from the Necromancer goes on him as well. And because I had nothing else to do, I did a Bubble Arise from the Bound, just to gain some extra skeletons, just in case I need them down the road. We go to combat, and we're striking simultaneous. He manages to kill me. I don't manage to put the last 2 wounds on him. I did cause 2 wounds, but he got lucky and saved them both on a 5-up. So over here, I actually win this combat. He kind of whiffs. I think he killed 5, and I've got 3 ranks, a charge, a flank, and a super flank. He's fine. Oh, he doesn't suffer any wounds. And over here, we do 7 wounds to the Feldrax. They don't do a single one back to me. They flee. I restrain my pursuit this time, and we're just going to face over here, keeping them in arc just if, probably when they rally, I can charge them again or put pressure on this giant. So that's how the table looks like, as we're going to go into turn 3 for the Warriors of the Dark Gods. So over here, he's going to charge those Marauders into the Wraiths. He's going to declare this charge into the Knights. And that's pretty much it. So the Marauders make it in. The Warriors fail. The Feldrax rally on this side. And he moves his Portent Lord over here. Another reason he didn't charge, because he had a range, essentially. But he actually blocked it with his... as you can see, he's actually blocked his own charge here a little bit, so he doesn't go for that one. And this guy is just going to go into those zombies up front as well. Like I said, these guys rally, the Feldrax rally. He fails a march check with his giant, which I'm not sure what he was planning on doing before, but he decides to use the giant as chaff to slow me down. He goes into magic. He causes 3 hits to this unit, 1 specifically on the unit champ, and then 2 to the unit, so that's like that. And that was pretty much it. In combat, he continues to smash away at the zombies, but I'm fine for probably 2 more rounds. Over here, we beat up on these guys pretty hard. He's still steadfast, though, because I don't have any ranks, and he sticks around. That's kind of how the table looks like. Oh, there was one more. Way off in this corner, the Forsaken one slowly starts to grind. on the zombies. Now, an interesting thing that I just remembered. In the first round that this guy charged, he only rolled a 1 for his grinds, so total of 4 against that Shrieking Horror. In the second round, he rolls a 6. In this third round that he's fighting the zombies, he rolls a 1 again. And this is actually to start a trend. He only rolled 1s and 6s for this guy. So, yeah. So this is going to be turn 3 for Vampire Covenant. So up here, the Varkalak's going to go into the Giant. The Knights are going to go into the Warriors. The Vampire Lord is going to go into the Giant. The Skeleton unit with the Necromancer is actually going to go into the flank of these Marauders over here. And these Bats are also going to go to charge against the Warriors up front. Yeah, there's that again. Everybody makes their charge this time. And we just move up some Bats over here to maybe put some pressure on some Chaff. Again, I didn't really have much for them to do this game just because he's got flying guys that are just going to go over me, so I didn't really have anything to slow down, and those are the guys that I wanted to stop from moving anyway, so we go to Magic. We try and do D3 wounds to this guy. He stops it, and then I went over here and tried to give this guy a breath attack. I failed the casting roll, and I think I did a rise. I gained some zombies back in this turn as well. Either way, we go into combat. This time we wipe out the, unfortunately we wipe out the Marauders. I was hoping that one would be left alive so that I could pursue him this way and potentially lock down that Portent Lord. Even though these guys aren't ideal to fight him, I'd rather have something fighting him than nothing. So we go into this one. We managed to put one more wound on this guy, but again, he rolls a 1 for his hits, and we're just going to sit there. This was a stalemate. Over here, we kill the Giant. The Vampire Lord kills the Giant by himself, pivots on the spot just to face these Feldrax. Again, I got to keep him out of my backfield for the secondary. The Varkalak did overrun, make it into the flank of those Warriors. And then we go to this one. I directed the unit champ and one of the Knights, picked off the Adept that was on this corner, and killed a bunch of rank and file guys. I think I killed 6 other rank and file dudes. 6 or 7, either way. He does a bit of damage back to me, and that's kind of how things are looking. He is steadfast, he sticks around, no problem. And I don't know if I mentioned, but these guys are fighting zombies. He's there still for another round, so that's how the table looks like. Is we're going to go into Warriors of the Dark Gods, turn 4. So over here, he's actually going to charge over the zombies into the flank of these Knights, goes for the points. He goes into the flank of the zombies with the Marauders. And these guys decide to go for it into the Vampire Lord. Try their luck again. So everybody makes their charges. And we go into, I believe, Magic. So over here, he, I think he gave himself a breath weapon, to be honest, just to make sure that those zombies are gone this turn, which he used, of course. Gets rid of the zombies and just pivots on the spot like so with the Marauders, and kind of positions slightly with the Exalted. Over here, I kill him to the champion, and he passes his break check though. So I just reform on the spot to face. I gave him my rear because he's gonna die in my turn. It's just that I'm facing this way. That Portent Lord is coming soon, so, and I am a little bit worried about that, even with the Eternity Gem. Over here, I do declare a challenge. He had nobody to accept but this guy, so he kills the unit champion, and with the wounds caused to each other and whatnot, I do lose, but I only crumbled out, I think, 1 or 2 on the Varkalak, so we got a little bit lucky there. I thought he was going to be dead that turn. Either way, we stick. No, I crumbled out 3. He didn't cause any wounds. I crumbled out 3, And then I made a vampiric roll, is what happened here. He pivots on the spot to face me, and he elected not to overrun with this Portent Lord. So that's kind of how the table looks like here, as we're going to start into Vampire Covenant turn 4. So over here, the Great Bats are going to go into the flank of these Marauders. They're going to make it in. He debated about that for a little while, but eventually decided just to stick around. I was kind of hoping he'd flee, just that he'd get out of 8 inches of this guy, just to make sure that these guys can march. But yeah, they make it in. We did, oh, that's what this is. They did actually manage to pass their march check, and we were within range. He was within the 11-inch danger zone with his Portent Lord. We walk through, fails his saves, and he dies. And we are even within range of the shoot here too, so even better bonus. Not that I think that's going to do anything, but we go into magic. We do touch the Reaper on the Exalted. He stops that one, I believe. Actually, no, I think it went off and I caused a wound to him. Over here, we do a rise. Try to, I think we gain a wound back. Maybe not. And I was going to do... I think he was worried about Danse Macabre, but I reminded him that I can only do 1 sweeping attack a turn, so wasn't too worried about that. And they're fine there. This fight goes on. This time, I think last time, again, he rolled a 6. This round, he's going to roll a 1. We're just going to continue to fight it out. I just can't seem to get that last wound. He got lucky in this round as well, even though he rolled a 1 for attacks. I rolled 2 wounds against him. He saved both of them, so he sticks around and we're going to keep fighting. Over here, I continue to beat up on him. He does, I think he did 1 wound to me, but I save it. End of the round, I gain another 1 back from Vampiric, and we're just going to continue to wail on him. The Vampire Lord here kills that unit champ and is in good shape just to continue mopping up points. So that's how things are looking. One other fight, I guess. We fought this one. I did win, and he sticks, though. It was only by 1, and he just faces the flank. So this is going to be Warriors of the Dark Gods, turn 5. So he charges against these Wraiths, make it in, and he's got nothing else. He does magic. I think he gives those guys a breath weapon again, and just ensures that these guys are destroyed, fights it out, decides to overrun. I'm not too certain why. I think he probably would have been better off just to pivot on the spot, to continue putting pressure on this Necromancer here. I did set up these Bat Swarms so that if he can charge a skeleton unit, but he can't just pick out the Necromancer there. So, and then the Bat Swarms are blocking him from doing that, but I should still be able to escape. So, either way, fight this one, and again he rolls terribly, but knocks me down to a single zombie left in this unit, and yeah, it's not looking so good on this side. I still can't get that last wound through on him. We did finish off that Marauder over here, and we pivot on the spot to face that Forsaken one. It's going to be my turn coming up, so I'm going to try and declare this charge. Fight this one, knock him down to just 2 guys. He does another wound to me, and I think I gain it back from Vampiric. But either way, I shift over a little bit just so this guy can come in on my turn. So yeah, that's how the table looks like. Turn 5 for Vampire Covenant. Like I said, the Vampire Lord's going to come in, wipe out those last 2 guys. These bats, I declared this charge before I measured it. Actually was too far to make it. It was just 1 inch outside of the maximum charge range of these bats. So we just decided just to move here instead. And move we do. We pop the Relentless Company banner to march up into his deployment zone a bit. And just move these guys because they got nothing to do and they don't need to die and shed points. We do magic. We do Danse Macabre on the Skeletons, he does stop this just because I was going to essentially reform on the spot and try and do magic against his Exalted. And then we gained a wound back with the Rise over here. And I had extra dice, so I raised the wounds on the bats that were wounded, and that was pretty much it. Combat comes, he kills that last zombie, no problem, and I wipe out his last two remaining guys. Overrun, and the Varkalax just sitting over here in the center. So that's how the table looks as we're going to go into turn 6, Warriors of the Dark Gods. So his that Forsaken is going to come into the Skeleton's flank. He rolled really high. I think he rolled a total of 16 on 3 dice. So over here, he just decides to move up into range of magic of the Varkalak, kind of goading me on to come and fight it. He does Breath of Corruption. It goes off, but he only rolls 3 for the dice and doesn't do any wounds. We fight this out. He continues his trend of rolling 6s and 1s. Rolls a 1 again. I just turn to face and go in line formation as well. So this is going to be the final turn 6, Vampire Covenant. I looking at the center like that, I've got no point, no real reason to declare this charge, but just for, I think the game is firmly in my hands, so we go for it anyway. It's a why not. I'm pretty sure I just die before I get to swing, but we'll see. We go to magic here. We do a rise, and we give him the breath attack just to put the odds if I don't die in my favor. And yeah, we go to combat. We finally managed to put that last wound on the Forsaken one. He kills 6. Well, he rolls 6. I think he killed 7 or 8 guys with his grinds, but we do that last wound, and it doesn't really matter. Over here, we fight this one out. He swings. He does 2 wounds, and then, well, he did more than that, but I saved him luckily, and we kill him outright. So, I was really not expecting that. But either way, we win that one. And then at the end of the game, just add insult to injury there. We gain the Vampiric and gain one of those wounds back. So that's going to be the end of the game there. Do up the points, and it's going to be a crushing victory. 20-0 for the Vampire Covenant. And we're going to come out on top for this league playoff match as well. That's pretty much going to do it for this league. Wasn't really... It was probably mid-range for most of it, so it feels good to finally come back out on top here. It's been quite a while since I managed to pull out a win in the league, so. But, yeah, fun game nonetheless, and looking forward to next league. I got something a little bit different planned, so hope you guys enjoy these battles, and stay tuned for the next one.